Alright, it is time to learn how to make one of these. First thing I'm going to do is kind of show you the code of the one I already created, and then I'm going to start completely over and do one from scratch for you. What you're looking at is the example that I just showed you. You can see the flow here with this diagram. I start at kind of the little welcome state, and then based upon that first question of whether they like animals or not, they either immediately go to the end or they get to move on to this other state called choose a park. And that's where they get asked that question about which animal, and then they get a recommendation on a park. So if you click on any of the states, then you can see the code in there. And it looks scary at first, but you'll get the pattern down, and once you do, you'll see that it's not too bad. So like in this case, I've set up the question, do you like animals, yes or no? And then what you have here are the rules. And what that means is that based upon the answer to this question up here, what rule do you want the program to follow? And in my case, I said if the answer is yes, then I want to move to this next state of choose a park. And I also give them this message. If the answer is no, then I just go ahead and end, and I give them this message. So if we then look at the choose a park one, you'll see how it has the different animals, and it's the same concept. I have, if the answer is equal to dogs, here's the message, and you end. If it's tigers, it randomly picks between these two messages and ends. Dolphins, message, end, or other, randomly between these two messages and ends. Now obviously this is a very short one. It just has two questions. You could branch on and on forever. I'm just asking you to do a simple one for your project. So that kind of gives you an idea of the look of the insides of this program and how the branching works. But let's start over and do one from scratch. Alright, so I'm going to go back to, I don't have to do this, but I just want to show you this. I'm going to go to contribute, and that's where you can see all the ones that you've made. Now, originally I was going to have you publish these and then grab the code and so that we could see them interactively on the web page. But when you go to publish, it puts up this message that asks us to please only put really good ones up and publish them so they don't get a lot of junk out there. And so I felt like maybe we should, not just throw all of ours up there from our class assignment. So instead I'm going to have you make a screencast, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, if you haven't published it, it won't be over here in the Learn for everyone to see, but it will be in the Contribute tab for you to see. So like here's mine. It has animals and it has mine. But now that I'm here, I can also create a new one. So create new. And then you have to give it a title. And I'm just going to redo the same kind of concept here just to show you. So it'll be Animal Parks 2. Alright, and I'm going to put it under animals again. There we go. And you can, type your own category if there isn't one there that you like. And I'm going to hit save. So it's creating it, the basics, the template, slowly. Still thinking. I could tell jokes or something while it loads, but that probably wouldn't be very exciting. All right, here it is. So you notice that for your visualization here, your little map, there is no map yet. There's no arrows because you haven't tied anything together. And it just starts you out with one state and your end state. And so what I do is I edit this untitled one to get me started. So I'm going to click on that, and then you can change the state up, the title of the state up here. And so I'm just going to call this Hello world. That's kind of an inside programming joke. If you've done programming before, you always do hello world for your first one. So I'll save that. And then it puts up this default kind of question where you would type an answer, but you can change that just by coming over here and hitting edit content. Alright, and now you have this little editor box, and it's slowly coming up with its little buttons. There we go. You can make this as fancy as you want. I'm just doing a plain one. And in my case, I said, do you like animals? Okay. You can close that. And then you want to edit your interaction, because right now you don't want them to just type an answer. You want to have them choose. So we're going to hit that button, and slowly, there we go. It sure is being slow. These are the different inputs that you could have for the user, and you're welcome to explore as much as you want, but I'm trying to keep it simple to get us started, so I'm going to pick this multiple choice one. And you want to edit this default choice, so get rid of default choice, and in my case I put yes. Then I came down and I added a choice, and I put no. Alright, so those were my two choices, and if I like that, then I hit use this interaction. Alright, so now we have our question, we have our possible answers, and now we have to add the rules. And so make sure you put your interaction up there first, because the rules change based on what type of interaction you have. So now I'm just going to hit add new rule. And when you have that multiple choice button, you only have one option for a rule. Now if you had picked like an open-ended question, you would see that there's others. You can see that more in that advanced tutorial if you want to, but we'll stick to this. So I select my only option, and then I can look at my different answer choices. In my case, I'm going to start with the yes one. And this destination means where do you want it to go after you give them their feedback. Well, sometimes you do want it to go back and ask the same question again. So maybe you're doing math or something and you say, nope, that's not right, try again. And you have them ask the same question. But in our case, I don't want it to ask if they like animals again. I want it to do something, go on to the next state. And if it's yes, I need to add the new state. So I'm just going to come down here and say add the new state. And let's just say it would be your park. Okay? It can be whatever. You're just titling it. So it's going to go to this place, but you also want some feedback. And right now there isn't any feedback. And so you add a feedback message. And it has number 1 here, and then you just hit edit. And I've said something like, great, let's figure out which park you should visit. And so then I could come down. If I wanted to, I could add a different feedback message. In this case, I'm just going to use this one, so I'm going to say use this rule. Alright, and so you can see here if the answer is yes, then it gives this message, the great, let's figure out which park you should visit, and it goes to your park. Nothing's there yet, but it goes there. But let's add another rule. Okay, come over here and hit add new rule. We're going to select it, and this time let's choose no. And in this case, we don't need it to go anywhere. We just need it to end. We do need a feedback message, though. So we'll hit edit here again, and we'll put in, so you don't like critters. No need to visit a park. And then maybe I want it to randomly choose between that one and another one. So I could add another feedback message here and hit edit for number 2. And I could say, bummer, I had lots of ideas for parks for you to visit, but since you don't like animals, you are out of luck. All right, so that's fine. We'll say use this rule. All right, and so we go, that's great, but now we have this answer of yes going to some place that doesn't exist yet, so we want to edit that. But let me move this, well, I can't really move it. Let me see if I can shrink it. Nope, can't do that either. I can move the little visualization over here, and you can kind of see where Hello World now goes to, it continues on to your park, or it goes over here to end. So we'll see that again in a minute. But let's come over here and say we need to go into your park and edit our next one. All right. So again, we can edit the content. Here might be saying, what is your favorite animal you want to see? All right, we'll close that one. It's there. Now we want to edit the interaction. And again, just for simplicity's sake, we're going to do another multiple choice. And we're going to edit this, take the default choice out, and put a critter here. I'll put this time, I'll put cats. Add choice. I don't know, monkeys. I'm running out of time on my little recording. I only have a couple more minutes left. But anyway, I could keep adding. And when I'm finished, I just add the new rule. Oh, sorry, not add the new rule. Sorry. Use this interaction. Okay, so now we have the interaction of they get to choose cats or monkeys for this one. And then we can start setting up the rules. So it's the same kind of thing. When you add a rule, you say, well, which one did they answer? They answered cats. Then in this case, I'm going to go straight to the end, but I'm going to add a message, and I'm going to say best friends animal sanctuary is good with cats also. They were my dog example. Okay, so I'm going to say use this rule, and then I have to do another rule and select monkeys, select destination of end, add feedback, edit. I'm going to say take a trip to Brazil. It was fun. All right, use this rule. And we go, that's great, so we like it. We'll close this out. You can now see that full visualization of how it's set up. Make sure you save your changes. Nothing there. All right. And then what I wanted you to do is publish, but like I said, we're not going to do that because I don't want to clutter their new little beta system. So I'll show you in another video, or tell you to do a screencast. But you can preview it by doing the play button, and that will let you see if yours is working. And so we'll say yes. All right, great. Okay, so yay, it's working, and we can close that out. So hopefully you can see how you could branch out and really design an intelligent tutoring system, artificial intelligence system. Goodness, okay, I am officially out of time, so I hope that is a good introduction for you.